Before first responders, man, it was pretty bleak. I describe my mood as pretty melancholy. Man, at home I never felt there was much to live for, much to work towards, much going on. I was sad almost every day. I've got a beautiful family, and they were sitting right there in front of me, and I wasn't seeing them. I've got 3 little girls, different ages, and they were running around always asking me to do something with them, do something for them, and be around, be a dad. And I just wasn't there. I'd lost something. I didn't know where I was in life. I didn't know where I fit in anymore. And physically, I'd gotten into the worst shape of my life. I hated the way I looked. I hated the way I felt. And I'd lost the willpower, the motivation to do anything about it. My marriage, man, my wife and I went through some rough patches. Man, we had been unfaithful to each other. I unfaithful to her, she unfaithful to me. We decided to keep trying in the marriage, but it was like a business agreement. It was like we decided, yeah, we'll stay under the same roof, we'll combine our budgets, and we'll help each other manage time. But other than that, there wasn't a relationship there. It was just, it was who watched my kids when I went to work, and I was who watched her kids when she went to work. And I love my girls, but I was not a father to them. I love my job. I wanted to be a cop since I was a little kid. I said I'd lost something along the way in those first few years that I couldn't function anymore. On duty, there's a lot you deal with. You're expected to help others in their time of crisis. And at one point, I realized I'm in my time of crisis. I'm having a crisis every call I go on because I don't know how to help these people. I couldn't find a reason to keep going to work, coming home, going through the motions again with the wife, with a marriage that wasn't working. As a law enforcement officer, we get into hairy situations, we get into dangerous situations all the time. And the motivator should be to help others and to keep others from harm. I'm willing to get in harm's way because others aren't, and because somebody needs to. And it had gotten to the point where I was willing to get in harm's way because I didn't care what had happened at the end of it. I didn't care if I was the one that came back home after those calls. For what it's worth, no better a time for whoever sees this, because she deserves it. I owe my wife and my kids an apology for that. And I'm sorry that it had gotten that bad for me. After the 25-week Fit for Duty, Fit for Life challenge, I was a whole new person. I fell in love with my kids and my wife all over again. It was the best feeling in the world. My mood turned around. I'm feeling happier. I started enjoying time with my kids again. I started enjoying time with my wife again. You can go to a gym anywhere and get a little bit of physical workout. You can sweat anywhere. But the whole program, it's a mental challenge, a spiritual challenge, it's a relationship challenge. They challenge you in every aspect of your life, not just physically. They challenge you to be a better person everywhere. I said it earlier, I fell back in love with my wife again. I would come home and realize how beautiful she was, and realize how much she meant to me, how much I meant to her. And getting to see that in her eyes, helped inspire me to keep working harder at our relationship with her, and realize that it's not about how I feel, it's not about what I want, it's about her, and it's about us, and it's about our relationship together. Having the energy to keep up with your kids it's like the best feeling in the world. And not to mention, once the kids go to bed, to have the energy to spend some time with your wife afterwards, who can complain about that? I have the confidence that I'm going to live for a much longer time and in a much better way. And now I know my wife and my kids are all going to do the same, and they're going to be able to set the same example for others as well. I feel like the little kid again, but I don't get to watch Copper. I don't get to put on a fake superhero cape. I get to be the superhero. You're in it for the love of it again. I've always loved helping people. And this is one of the best jobs to do that. You get to help people at their worst times, and you get to show them that it's okay. Somebody's on your side. There's somebody here to look out for you. When stuff goes to heck, when things get real bad, it's okay. I guarantee you one of us will be here. Man, being physically fit directly relates into being in law enforcement. You got to be fit to carry the duties that you have. You may run into situations where you're going for 16 hours straight at a time, and you've got to have that stamina to keep going, because you've got to be the best that you've ever been at that last minute as that first minute of the day, because everybody that's going through something, that time's never changed for them. It doesn't matter if you've been on duty for 24 hours or 2 minutes. To them, you still have to provide the same service. To be able to do that is priceless. Man, I came back to God. I got back into a relationship with God after not knowing Him for darn near a decade. Man, I'm going back to church. My family's going back to church. Like I said, 10 years. My oldest daughter is 12. My family didn't know church before this. So I got the opportunity to gain the confidence I needed to be a spiritual leader as well as an actual leader in the household. I'm better than I've ever been, plain and simple. I've lost 33 pounds. 33 pounds. So yeah, I don't know if you can tell by looking, but I don't hang off the chair anymore. I don't have a double chin anymore. That feels so good. 33 pounds. And it's like 7 inches down on my waist, 6 inches down on my hips. Everything looks lean. I can see my muscles again. Woo! It feels good. Thank you to the coaches first and foremost for the idea of this, for their dedication, and for the time that you guys put into us. It was you guys with the vision, you guys with the heart, you guys with the dedication, and you just told us what to do, and it changed our lives. And we saw some amazing support from the citizens of Tulsa, and I tell you, especially in this day and age, nothing feels better than to see that support from your own city. It's so heartwarming, so inspirational. It's absolutely amazing. Thank you. Everywhere needs this program. Start this program, every aspect of your life will improve. There's no excuse you could come up with that doing this program doesn't solve, doesn't make better. Plain and simple. I am Alex Peiffer. I am fit for duty, and I'm fit for life.